When we come to God for help, when we come to God for solutions, when we come to God for direction, there are two things that he does. Number one is that he intervenes. He steps in and responds to our needs. But in addition to responding to our needs, he gives us an encounter with himself. So that at the end of that experience, even though we came to him, what brought us to him was our needs. But if it is the God of the Bible you meet, one, he will solve that problem, but he will also give you an encounter of himself, so that you live with your solutions, but you also live with an encounter, knowing him better, loving him better, desiring him better. Is someone learning now? Nobody comes to God and just receives from his hand and then just goes away. No. When you come to God, he will stretch his hands and respond to your needs, but he will draw you closer and show you something about himself. In fact, I have taught you in this house that one of the ways God meets your needs, one of the ways God answers prayer, is by giving you encounters that make for your growth. Because many of the things we ask God for, in fact, depend on us growing for the answer to work. If your child asks you for the key to your car, assuming it's a 5-6-year-old child, no matter how you love that child, you cannot give the child the key to an SUV at age 5 or 6. Even if the car was bought in the child's name, you have to wait for the child to grow. An heir, for as long as that heir is a child, he differeth not from a slave, even though he be Lord of all. When we come to God with our needs, he intervenes over the issues of concern, but then he leads us through another dimension of encounter with him, so that we live with both our testimony and then a greater knowledge of him. This is a very powerful revelation you must have. One of the ways you will know it is the God of the Bible you met is that you walk away with two things. One, your testimony, an answer to why you came. But number two, a greater knowledge of him. That through your receiving that testimony, you learn something about him that makes you to love him more, to desire him more, to hunger more for him. Any encounter with God that just stops at receiving things without him reintroducing himself to you is not a genuine encounter. Are we together? When he came to Moses, he introduced himself to Moses. Then Moses found there a rod that had been blessed and anointed that became the rod of God.